Stop recording video. Button. Face centered. Speech off.
Hi guys, it's VI Life with Kelly. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm getting ready to talk to you guys about the three schools I looked at before selecting the school that I went with for MLO training. So if you're interested in mortgage loan origination, um, and the reasons why I did or did not go with the schools that I went with, then keep watching. Okay, there are several factors in my decision making when I decide to go to school. The biggest thing is their technology, because that is how I am able to function in the visual world. I need accessibility, and accessibility for me is through technology, software, hardware, different equipment. So if their office for students with disabilities or their libraries, reference centers, if their accommodations process is not up to par, it's lacking, it's antiquated, that's going to create another barrier for me because I will either have to develop these offerings and partner with these departments to get them up to par and educate them, or I will have to spend a lot of time working with deans and other faculty to get the professors on the same page or create some form of accommodation in order for me to be able to complete my coursework and get what it is I'm seeking from the institution. So I had actually been looking at becoming either a realtor for years. I knew I wanted to do something as far as having a career in real estate. It was always very appealing to me. I had been looking at purchasing a home, and I'm one of these people that don't like going into anything that I don't understand or have full knowledge of. So always kept feeling like, you know what, you need to go to school for real estate, so you can learn about it, really understand what you're signing up for, what your options are, the things that come with, purchasing a home, becoming a property owner, and so on and so forth. Over time, over the years, um I realized that being a realtor required so many things, and this is pre Uber, Lyft, all these alternative methods of transportation. So my largest barrier at the beginning was like, how am I going to get around and picking up clients to show them property? And, it was like all these different thoughts. But over time, I realized that becoming a realtor for me was more so going to be for personal knowledge, and also for me to be able to have access to the MLS system so I could see what's out there when I want to, lease something, or, what's a good deal versus what's not, like, have the inside scoop. And so I was like, I don't know. So then I just kept exploring the world of real estate and finding out about other avenues. And so I ended up finding out about mortgage loan origination. So I've always been a person great with numbers. And when I looked into mortgage loan origination, I was like, oh, this is perfect for me. It doesn't require me running around. It doesn't require me having to be visual, because a realtor does need to have visual field. Like, you need to be able to look at a property and show things to your client and discuss things, and when they're bringing up things to you, visual things, you need to have feedback. I mean, I look at a realtor as a professional that's giving me advisement as if it was their purchase. And so, they need to be pointing out things to me, and they need to be bringing up things to me, and they need to be always looking at what is my best interest. So, whereas mortgage loan origination, I'm the one that's telling you what you pre-qualify for. I'm the one that's telling you what the numbers are looking like, what the interest rates are, what the difference between you putting XYZ down versus you putting ABC down, how over, a length of time, things could work out for you in one regard. I'm that person that's going to tell you, this is your best case scenario, or what are your long-term goals. What do you have going on for the next 5 or 10 years? Do you have kids getting ready to go to college? Do you plan on paying for that out of pocket? What are your goals? Are you getting ready to buy investment properties? Is this an investment property? Are you needing, do you have, car loans, things, are you looking to consolidate? Like, what is your move? And so when you tell me these different things, then that's when I can recommend the best deal for you overall. I could tell you, if you're a person that wants to pay the house off in 10 years, I could tell you, okay, well, if you want to make that move and this is your major focus, you're pushing all your finances in that direction, then you need to put this much down and you need to make this kind of payment every single month, and you could accomplish that with this here, and so on and so forth. So anyhow, guys, last year in January, I had made my mind up, even the year before. So the year before in 2019, I had made my mind up that I was going to go into mortgage loan origination. I actually had looked at it in 2015. So 6, 7 years ago, I had looked at mortgage loan origination. At the time, I was looking at mortgage loan officer. So I'm looking at working for a bank, credit union, something like that. And I didn't like that option. I didn't want to be confined to working for someone. And so then that's when I looked into mortgage loan origination, which would give me the ability to um, work with anyone. So any realtor could call me and say, hey, I got a client that needs a pre-qual, and I could, run the numbers and give them a deal. So I didn't want to have to just strictly be working for whatever bank and only be able to provide them, figures through that bank, and then that bank tell me what they're going to pay me out of the deal. Because some banks will just pay you an hourly rate, like some financial institutions, not even just banks. They will just pay you a set hourly rate or a set commission, and it could be like 0.25%, whereas you could have made 1.25%. You could have made 2%, like, but you're gonna only get 0.25%. For easy math, if it's $100,000 deal, 0.25% is $250. So you just did a deal for $100,000, and you're getting 250 off that deal, no matter how long it took. You might have been working that deal for, I don't know, weeks, a month, and you just got 250 off of it. Whereas if that was your deal where you're not per se working as an employee, then you could have got, the 1.25% on that $100,000 deal, which is $1,250. So anyway, there's several different reasons why persons choose to become an MLO as an originator versus an officer. There's pros and cons on either side of the coin. When you work for yourself, you deal with the variables of working for yourself. So if you have slow months, you didn't make any money for a couple months, that's just what it is. And then you have months where you're just bringing it in. Whereas when you're an employee, you have the consistency of your hourly wage plus your commission. So no matter what happens this week, next month, you do have the security of an hourly And if you're there 40 hours, you have, whatever for sure. So, and then you may have a benefits package as well, medical, dental, vision, life insurance, 401k, PTO, annual leave, sick leave, all of those things like that. So that's important too. And there are plenty of companies that pay extremely well. So it's just a matter of how flexible you need your life to be. Some people decide to become a mortgage loan originator and work for themselves because they need the flexibility. Like they cannot be anywhere Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or whatever the schedule is. They may have small children, and with everything going on, even without everything going on, who wants to put their children in daycare? Maybe it's too expensive to put, all the kids in daycare. Who knows what the reasons are or what your personal situation is, but you may need the flexibility of working. You worked 1 day this week, 2 days next week, maybe you did 4 days the week after that, and then you may not do any days one week, but you need the flexibility, um, you know, to so that alone, makes it worth it for you. So anyway, guys, back to what I was talking about, which was the schools. So initially, all three of the schools that I looked at, which was Champions School of Real Estate, Mortgage Educators, and Cape School, I looked at all three of these schools, and initially, what grasped my attention were the specials. So each one of these schools was doing a special. So let's say you could get started for their basic package for around $200. Like neither one of these schools was over $249 at the time, which was a great deal. You got the courses, the 20-hour courses, and you got prep exam with it. So great. Um, so initially I went with Cape School because they had the quickest class offerings. Like you could start every single week. There was no like, oh, we only have start dates once or twice this month and maybe again next month. Like the start date was quick. The enrollment process was quick. The price was great. They had a great special. You could get a bundle package with them, and they had a great guarantee. So boom, I was sold. Um, the thing that didn't work out for me with Cape School is that their online course is not 100% accessible. So there were tons of fields throughout navigating their online course that was not, I couldn't get to it. So I was having a hard time moving from one phase to the next. A lot of the material was not accessible, so I was having a hard time understanding what was the point. They have tons of activities that you have to complete. So you have to enroll in a lot of different things, forums. They have a ton of form requests. You have to interact with your classmates as far as acknowledging and commenting on their post. You have to do a lot of discussion questions. You have to um finish different questionnaires. Like it was a lot of footwork at the beginning. Like, and there's a check off list. So if you don't make sure to read every single thing, like from the introduction, read all the emails, follow every single detail. They give you a guide on how to request an NMLS number, which you have to have in order to get credit for the coursework. It's like tons of things that you spend. Like you would really need, because they give you 7 days to get it done, to get every single thing. And every day you're supposed to be working on your coursework for 8 hours. So every day it's a 40, so it's designed for you to get done with this within 40 clock hours. And so every day you're supposed to be logging in and getting it done, and then you can talk to an instructor during their office hours. But you are literally doing everything on your own. So, needless to say, that didn't work out for me, because I couldn't access the different fields. I couldn't get things done. I never did get to complete like a test, and you do have to, they have quizzes and exams for you to go to the next level. So each day, in order for you to go to the next day of work, you have to finish your quiz and your exam and whatever commentary or discussion questions, like all those different checkoff points. You have to complete all that on your first day in order to go to the second day. Otherwise, it'll still be on your first day on the second day. And then if you don't get done, like I'm telling you, in the week, then you have to request to start over the next week, and you really do start over from scratch. And you get 12 months to finish the course, and that's that. So they're really, I will say, as on a positive note, if you are a self learner, like you're good with teaching and learning your own, on your own, they then this is a great program for you. And I will say that they are extremely flexible and understanding. If you have an issue where you're not, for some reason, if 12 months goes by and you didn't get it done, they will give you an extension. You just need to ask and explain what was going on in order to get that done. Okay, guys, so needless to say, I requested a refund from that program, and I found another school that offered online live course instruction, which is what I honestly thought I was signing up for with Cape School. I honestly thought I was signing up for a live instruction online, like Zoom. I didn't know I was signing up to learn this stuff on my own, because the way they have it explained is that you have an instructor. So I just naturally understood that meant that I was actually in class and, watching presentations where I could ask questions and so on and so forth. But no, that wasn't it. So, mortgage educators, I will say there is a huge difference in customer service as well. Like Cape School, um, to me, even though they're a large platform and they do provide nationwide service, like whatever state you're in, you could get um, the state specific training as well, and you could, finish that coursework and all that. They do not come off like they have a large staff. Like you could sit on hold for a long time waiting on someone to answer or call you back. So I really feel like with Cape School, that's a program for autonomous beings. Like if you are really good with being on your own, getting it done on your own, you really don't need to talk to nobody about anything. You're just gonna learn this stuff. If you're a person that's already accustomed to doing online school, where you've already been doing discussion questions, commentaries, getting in these different forums, and like you're really good about all that type of stuff, that's your school. Okay, mortgage educators, I like them off top from the beginning because they have great customer service. They always answer the phones. They're very much on top of everything. They'll find your account really quickly, like no delays. You could tell they're here to get you done. Now, I will tell you that when I was calling them before, like I want to say, I don't know, last year, like 2019, the top of 2020, I will say it was difficult getting them as well, but I feel like that's because it was probably like high demand, like a lot of people called because they were having a really good sale. Like I said, all three of these schools were having big sales, like end of the year, whatever you want to call it. They were having these big sales. But anyhow, mortgage educators, great customer service. They do have the live instruction course that I was looking for. Their price is really good, $220. And then if you live in a state that requires state specific coursework, they offer that as well. Um, their program is good. It's really focused on you getting it done. Now, with them, you will have the live 20-hour course, but the state specific courses are like pre-recorded courses. So it's not a live class where you could actually type in a question or turn your mic on and ask a question. The state specific coursework is going to be where you have to watch the video and then do whatever assignment it asks you to do. And you will have quiz and exams from day to day. So your 20-hour coursework, each day you will have quiz and exams to go to the next day, to continue moving forward to the next day. And in order to get completion and a certification or certificate for the 20-hour class training, and you will have the same thing go on with your state specific coursework. But like I said, the only difference is the 20-hour class is a live class online, and then the state specific class are pre-recorded live classes, and those take like 3 hours of your day to do the state specific class, and then you get your certificate and you're done with it. So mortgage educators is appealing for the price. They are a school that offers they offer their classes like once a month, depending on the format. Like if you're looking to do the live online class, or if you're looking to do the online self-learning, self-taught, or like just depending on which one you're going for is going to determine when you can get started. And they are the school that does the live classes like 4 days, which would be 2 weekends, or the 3 days during the week, or so that's that. Um, so then we have the Champion School of Real Estate. Um, Super enjoy the options that they have um at the school, as far as they have several course options to add on to your 20-hour coursework program. They do have the live online Zoom class as well. They have in person, and then they have self-taught online as well. All three are the same price, so it doesn't matter how you get the information, it's the same price. And theirs does include a prep exam for you to take, and it is a live prep exam. So you're going to take quiz and exam each day of the course of the class. You're going to have to pass that as well in order to move on to the next day, and then ultimately pass the exam to complete the coursework and get the certificate. Then you're going to have to take those certificates to NMLS in order for you to apply to take the licensing exam to become the mortgage um, loan originator. So you need to take another state exam for that. And so that's what you're applying for with NMLS. The coursework is what you need. The certificates, which will be submitted for you, by way of the school. And then, of course, you have to submit the criminal background and credit check. And then that process takes like 2 weeks. And MLS will say, okay, we've authorized you to take the licensure exam. And then that's when you do that. And with champions, their prep exam is immediately following the class. So like if you took the class this week, then next week would be the prep exam class, and you could take that as often as you like for a year. So if you didn't want to take the exam right away, which I would encourage you to, I would say take the coursework, do that, then take the prep exam class the very next week. And by that point, that next week, they should have given you an answer, yes or no, if you're authorized to take the licensing exam. And as soon as you got that, I would be calling Prometric to schedule my exam. I would not wait like the whole time after you do that prep exam. I would just be reviewing everything and day by day waiting for them to call to say or send the email or however it's going to get delivered to you that says you're authorized to take the exam. And then I'd be scheduling that exam. It's the first date they had. It's better to take the exam while everything's fresh than to be stressing out and overstudying and all this stuff. So in their prep exam, they have like a very high success rate of you know their students passing. Like the prep exam is designed for you to pass the licensure exam. It focuses on exactly what's on the exam. So, guys, pretty much you're looking at, depending on what program. Now, another thing I wanted to tell you guys about Champion School of Real Estate before I tell you guys what school that I went with and went through. Okay, they also offer a package where you could get a class that talks about a day in the life of a mortgage loan originator, and it walks you through the steps, like exactly what you're going to be doing. It actually shows you like the process so that you could really walk away knowing what you're getting into. They also include a business class for you, so that will help you understand how to market yourself, how to network, do's and don'ts, ethical boundaries, like all these different things like that. So if you included those two courses, then it takes your package to $600. I don't remember the exact figure. I think it was like $629. Okay, then they had another another class that you could take, and that class basically walked you through step for step pre-qualing and like the forms and data software and stuff like that that you would be using, so that you wouldn't just feel like, boom, I'm just out here and I don't know what I'm doing. These classes are designed for you to know what you're doing or reinforce what you've learned. And if you included that class with your package, then it went to like $719, something like that. So I like those offerings because if you watch on YouTube, persons that have been vlogging their MLO journey, they talk about how these classes give you a basis, but they don't teach you what you're doing. So it's like you have to work for a company or somebody to learn actual mortgage lending. Like you have to work somewhere so they can actually train you. And then they talk about how many different loan products there are, FHA versus conventional versus, like there's so many different, and then all the different states. So if you are a person that is going to work for a bank or a financial institution, then you already understand that you're not just going to be processing loans for the state that you live in or you're working out of, because this financial institution it has a span, a nationwide or international span. So you are governed under whatever licenses they have. That's the licenses that you have operating underneath them as them. So anyway, the bottom line is, they were just, everyone's just in agreement, like, you know, the courses and everything like that is not what's going to teach you how to be an MLO. It's going to be, the training. So everyone's saying like you should find, which I agree, you should find a company that has an excellent training program and they actually recruit. Like that's a part of the recruitment, a part of the sale. When you look on indeed.com or whatever, career searching tool, career builder, whatever you're using, you need to be typing in like MLO recruiter or MLO training, career training, and it will pop up several financial institutions. Regents Bank is notorious for it. They have a huge MLO career training offering where they're telling you, we're going to train you, we're going to put you with a seasoned MLO employee, we're going to get you ready from top to bottom, before we put you on your own. So, and they have a competitive salary, so you don't have to worry about, oh, am I compromising my earnings for the training? Like, nope. But anyway, guys, um so it was really a battle between mortgage educators and Champions School of Real Estate. And it really boiled down to, initially it was like the money, right? It's like, okay, you know, 220 looks great. You know what I mean? Like, it's only $220 and I got the class out the way, and if I, whatever state I want to offer, boom, that's all that, and I'm done. Versus Champions offers the same thing, but I'm getting so much more for the money. Like, I definitely could benefit from the business principles they're teaching you and they're marketing, how to market yourself, how to network, what's the best decision for you, becoming an employee versus being a contractor or self-employed. Like, that was valuable information for me, knowing that I could take the prep exam over, the prep exam course, over and over again, and that it was an actual live class with an instructor. I'm not an online self-taught, self-learning individual. I never have been interested in that. And so for me, if you have live course interaction, you got me all day. And then, of course, because of the visual impairment, I need as much live interaction as possible. Because if I get stuck, I need an instructor. I need to be able to say, hey, I'm not with y'all on this page. It's not moving for me. Can you email me the link directly? Or could you, and they say, yeah, boom. And then it's on. You see what I'm saying? So, for mortgage educators, even though their 20-hour course is live, the state-specific courses are not. They're pre-recorded, which is fine, but I don't need any more barriers than I already have. So with Champion School of Real Estate, with them having both the 20-hour course and the state-specific course live, instruction on Zoom, and then with them having the prep exam live instruction on Zoom, then that was a no-brainer for me. I also like that they were offering the courses where they're taking you step for step, with the pre-qual process. And I mean, and more than that, I'm just telling y'all that part because everybody's most familiar. But taking you step for step. They also give you advisement like on what software and hardware and things that you may want to consider investing in, what not to waste your money on, what is really so like all of that. The little couple $100 saves you thousands of dollars in time out here learning, on the hard way when you could have just took a class and sat up there and said, "Oh, okay." And the fact that you can come back to them at any point and ask more questions and connect with those instructors along the way. It's like you have a great support system. And then they have a brick and mortar building, like you can go up there, you know what I mean? You could go up there and you could schedule, meetings. You can, um, so for me, all of those things matter. All of those things made a huge difference. Um, and that's that. For me, I had relationships already with realtors in Texas, so it made sense for me to obtain licensure in the state of Texas. I have relationship with realtors in California and Georgia, so for me, it makes sense to have you know, those options for those states as well as Florida. So you know, that's that, guys. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend. I am going to be doing more videos talking about my experiences as an MLO, as a consultant, as and my reason why I decided to pursue a career as an MLO. I will tell you guys really quickly because I know y'all are like, I thought you said you're going to law school in August. I am. And so while I'm in law school for the next 3 years full time, it still doesn't change the fact that I am a mom and I do have a G baby and they're in school too. So you all have to have a way to bring income in. I need a very flexible very flexible career that I can control, that can bring in large paychecks because I have large bills. So MLO option was perfect for me, being that I can work from home in a home office that I have, and I can work with a multitude of realtors. I don't have any limitations when it comes to that. But the caveat to it was that um, the areas of law that I plan to pursue is real estate law, possibly tax and corporate law, and pain and injury. So it fit perfectly for the avenues of law that I plan to practice. So that's the other reason why um you know I made that decision, and it's working out. So that's what's going on, guys. I'm gonna definitely do a video next. I'm gonna talk to you guys about where I'm at with my law school journey, so definitely check me out in the next video. Hugs and kisses. It's the first Thursday of the year. It's the 6th day of the year, you know what I mean? So what's the plan, guys? This month is all about the plan. What are we doing? Because next month we got to be on to the next. We got to be pursuing the plan. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, see you in a second.
Speech on. Face centered. Stop recording video.